Hey viewers, my name's Kara. I'm your host for Tuesdays here on the Pagan Perspective. This week we're talking about traditions and decorations for this time of year. Firstly, I want to thank Eryk for filling in for me last week so that I didn't have to do a video, and thank you to Yucca for saying, go ahead, I'm not going to need Eryk to sub in for me this week, so Eryk can sub for Kara, so that I didn't have to do a video last week because I skipped my personal channel video last weekend as well, and then wanted to take a week off of the collab also because last weekend our cat Dawn passed away and I was not ready to make videos again. So thank you very much to Eryk and Yucca for helping me take a day off, which I almost never do. And so yeah, I just the other night posted her memorial video on my personal channel. My personal channel is CuteWitch772. It's always linked in the description of my videos here. And the video is called In Memory of Dawn. So you can go watch that if you want to. But yeah, so it still feels a little soon for me to be talking about other stuff. So I'm really glad that this week actually ended up being a pretty low-key topic. So this might even be an unedited video. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, we are here staring in my mirror in my living room because this is where my partner and I have our household seasonal observance altar. So I'm going to show you that. It's on our fireplace mantle, and this mirror is mounted above. So the topic this week was a Pagan Perspective Team Member Topic that's been on our list for a while. And so earlier this year, like at the new year, when I was putting together topics for the first few months of this year, I thought, let's do the traditions and decorations for this time of year thing in Northern Hemisphere spring, Southern Hemisphere autumn. Because I feel like a lot of us talk about traditions and decorations around winter solstice time specifically, or especially. That's when I hear a lot of people talking about it. So I thought, let's switch it up a little bit and do it in like spring and autumn. So yeah, starting out with traditions, I don't think I really have any specific traditions for springtime other than like spring cleaning as a general concept. But I think of that less as a tradition and more of like sort of a natural impulse that we all have to refresh and renew our spaces at this time. And I definitely have that as well. But as far as like seasonal traditions for me, I don't have very many, except like, for example, when we get our first big snowfall in my area, whenever that is, we'll get like a little bit of snow and then it'll melt, it doesn't stick. When we get the first big snowfall that sticks every winter in my area, I like to make hot cocoa to celebrate it. So that's like a seasonal tradition that I know I have. And it's not something that directly came out of my spiritual path or practice. It's not particularly a witchy thing or a pagan thing to make hot cocoa, right? But it's something that I've always loved to do. It's something that makes me feel very much like, yeah, we're celebrating that season by having this nice warm chocolatey beverage. And I have special mugs that I use for it that first time, and I got those from my mom. So yeah, it's something that's become a seasonal observance type of tradition for me. I don't really have any for spring though, but I do have some favorite decorations that I can show you, and since we have recently redone our altar, I can show you some of them. I don't usually show my altars or do like altar tour videos on my personal channel or anything, so I actually reserve those for my Patreon supporters as exclusive videos. But this year, my partner and I are doing Vlog Every Day in April on our channel that we have together. So we did a sort of a time lapse of us putting together this altar this year anyway. So it's kind of already out there in a way, but it's not on my personal channel. So anyway, some of my favorite decorations seasonally, specifically for spring, here we go. So I have these little fairy furniture things, which I love. That's a postcard that Danny Lang sent me, former substitute host here on Pagan Perspective. I thought it was cute, and it kind of goes along with the aesthetic of this little area here. So yeah, I have some little like fairy home type things. I love these for spring. This is something that I actually got for the $10 altar project that I was doing for my personal channel and for a Pagan Pride Day event several years ago here in Ohio. And so it now ends up on all of my altars, especially spring and autumn, but I think I've had it on summer altars too. Maybe it's just like on my altar all year, except not really necessarily in winter. But anyway, sometimes it's on the outdoor altar. And I also have a little like a fairy tea set. That's what these are from. The rest of it is monarch butterfly themed, and the rest of it is out on my fairy altar, which is out on our enclosed porch, and that's where this little flower guy hangs out a lot of the time as well. So some of these are like my favorite for specifically for this season. There are other things on my altar that are always here, such as my unicorn oil burner thing and my Leo the lion. They're almost always here. But we have those, and then also these little garden stones I got from my mom. Serenity, beauty, and as you just saw with the bunny here, happiness or hoppiness, because it's with the bunny. So I do have my little like springtime plush bunny here on the spring altar as well, because that was a gift from either my mom or my grandmother years ago. But anyway, I have that hanging out here. I have these other very like springtime floral things that I've picked up either at thrift stores over the years or that were handed down to me from my mom and my grandma. I have these mushrooms. Something else that I love that I have as seasonal decorations are these. These were colored by a friend of mine who I met at Cleveland Pagan Pride, but they're actually from Akron. And this is the springtime one. I have another one that is for the solstices. They're actually double-sided. So this one I use for the spring and autumn equinoxes. You can see the other side in the reflection of the mirror there. Oh, now I'm going to knock it off center. There we go. And then I have another one that is circular ones that I use for the summer and winter solstices. So those are some of my favorite things. I got those from her a couple years ago. And it's just, they're, coloring book pages that she then put together back to back. So I just thought that was a wonderful idea, and I might even make some more for myself sometime. But she had not created them with the intention of them being for the solstices and equinoxes. It's just that when I set my eyes on them the first time and I saw the colors, especially the winter, the one that I see and think of as winter is blues and silvers and white, and the overall design looked like a snowflake to me. So it immediately looked like winter, and then the one on the opposite side was very colorful, bright, vibrant, bold colors, and I was like, this is summer. And then I saw this one and the color scheme said to me spring and autumn. So yeah, they were not made with that intention, but it's immediately what I saw. So I love those as seasonal decorations as well. And there's a bunch of other stuff on here that's just kind of adaptable for all seasons. And we don't use our fireplace at the moment, so I drape some other cloths and things here. This is a lace doily that belonged to my grandmother, who recently passed away within the past year. And then these are some things that I found at my local thrift store a few years ago as well. That says spring and summertime to me. I love using scarves for the seasons, scarves and different types of fabric, because they're very easy to find in different prints and colors. So I have these ones for spring, so I like to use those because they're very easy to find for seasonal. And then this is another thing, this is not where I keep it, but I set it here so that it would just be conveniently right here to show you. This is a little garden stepping stone that I got at the dollar store several years ago. And I mean, yeah, just immediately when looking at it, I thought this is a representation of the equinoxes. This is day and night being equal. And so I use this on altars for spring and autumn because that's when the equinoxes are. So I just set that there so that it would be conveniently nearby to show you. The other thing I suppose I could say I like to decorate with for spring are plants, which is why I originally started trying to get some houseplants. And this year we did not start germinating seeds early in March like we did last year, so I don't have as many plants going right now. But we do have my pothos up here by the front window, which is doing very well and seems very happy right now in the ever-growing amount of sunlight. So there's that. And yeah, I guess that's a quick little look at some of my favorite springtime decorations, because it is springtime right now in the northern hemisphere, even though currently outside it is snowing. It's technically spring, but I live in Northeast Ohio, and there are snowflakes slowly falling from outside. They're not going to stick or anything like that. It's actually been getting kind of warm out, but it is snowing. So, but yeah, I don't think I have any specific traditions for springtime, but now that this has prompted me thinking about it, maybe I'll think about it more and realize like, oh yeah, there are some things and I didn't think about them, and so maybe I'll update you. But other than like the spring cleaning, and I like to switch up my altars seasonally because the seasons and observing the change of the seasons where I live is something that is important to me in my personal practice. So switching up the altars seasonally, I guess you could say, is a seasonal tradition of mine, but it's not specifically for springtime, But seasonal traditions, observing transitions, things like that, yeah. So yeah, let me know if you have any springtime or autumn traditions or favorite decorations that you like to use. I definitely have tons of decorations for autumn as well, but yeah, not really any specific autumn traditions either, just the overall seasonal transition ones. So share anything you would like to share with us in the comments in relation to this week's topic. You can also feel free to use this topic on your own channel. Just let people know that it was a pagan perspective topic that you are covering on your own channel, and you can be part of the wider conversation around this topic, which came from one of our team members. I hope you are all doing well. I know many of us are at home during this time because of the global health situation. I know that some people are not able to stay home at this time because maybe your work has been deemed essential, and you keep things running for us. So whatever you may be dealing with personally at this time, I hope that you are safe. I hope that you are overall doing well, all things considered. And I hope that if you are not doing well, things begin to improve. And I just thank you for being here and taking the time to watch and or listen to this video, and I will see you next time. Thank you again to Eryk and Yucca for Eryk filling in for me last week. I'll see you next time. Until then, don't forget to be awesome, blessed be, and goodbye.